Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you? It is that time, right? It's Wednesday at 6:30, not 6 o'clock. It's Wednesday at 6:30, and it's that time. It's that time for Through the Eyes of Others with Aaron and Lisa Kay. We are so happy that you patiently waited for us, and as usual, it's going to be a good evening. As I always say, we have somebody real special on tonight, and I mean it again. And I believe that you're going to enjoy the conversation tonight as we learn more about this extraordinary person. Our conversations are with extraordinary people about their lives of resilience, wellness, and healing. Um, the thought always is that when we see life only through our eyes, we have a distorted view of life, right? We're here. But when we're seeing life through the eyes of others, we can expand our vision and it allows us to more impact, right? To be able to touch more, to see more, to experience more, to get a fuller view of life. And so we like to be able to take this time to see life through the eyes of others and to enjoy their journey as we connect to our own wellness and recovery. I'm on with my partner, my sidekick. I'm on with my co-director, and as she always says, her partner in crime, Lisa Kay. Lisa Kay, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Welcome fall. Today's the first day of fall.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah. So here we go. Everybody's getting out sweaters and boots and all that good fun stuff and thinking about pumpkins and not me, but I'm witnessing that. So good for everybody that loves this time of the year. I'm the one crying in the background because summer's leaving. And but I'm the girl that don't put her flip flops up. So all you out there that don't put your flip flops up, you're my people. So anyway, I'm excited about tonight. I got the honor and privilege of meeting this young lady not too long ago, and I was just wowed. I was just so wowed and was so excited that when I figured out who she was and that she was now part of Promise Resource Network, I was so excited and then got the chance to speak with her a few minutes and was just wowed. Her energy is amazing, her spirit, her people, her insight. I think I may have talked to her maybe 5, 10, 7 minutes. I don't know what it was, but I was like wowed. And so I am just thrilled to death to have her on tonight to hear more about. She's such a busy lady, all over the place at Promise Resource that I haven't gotten to corner her and really ask her a lot of questions about herself and her family and all those kind of things that make us so interesting and unique. But I am real excited to have her on tonight to see through her eyes. She is a neat, not an ordinary person at all. Uh,
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary for sure. So I'm excited. I'm ready to jump in here. We got some folks already on tonight, ready to chop it up, as Aaron Wells says, with us.
Yep,
And
yep.
so we just tell you every week, let us know you're out there. We got Miss Darlene on. If Miss Darlene Parsons is in the house, we definitely can get started.
Yeah.
She's saying hello. We have Miss Erin P. From Promise Resource saying hey, hey. We have Mr. Allen on
Yeah.
saying hello to us. And we have Mr. Bob with us saying good evening. Erica, Erica, you were with me this morning at 6:30 in the morning. So
I
12
know.
hours later, you are
Repeat
back.
customer. Yeah.
Yes, so she is definitely my people. So she's saying happy fall, y'all. So she must be a country bumpkin like me. So um, yeah, Erica, you and I need to talk. But thank you for coming back on 12 hours later for us. That's great support. We appreciate it. And we got Miss Kim Porter in the house saying hi to everybody and saying hey to AJ. And one of my she's not a new friend. She's a friend that we got reconnected, a Promise Resource recovery person. Michelle Joy is on saying hi and she is a joy to be around and so glad she found us tonight and Miss Erica said yes, so I hope that means yes, that she is my people and she's gonna connect with me. So but you guys let us know your own, chat it up as we go along. Be sure you share this on your social media. Folks just do not want to miss this. And we have a Dan sighting.
Dan Heckmeyer?
Yes,
What,
saying,
from New
"Hey
York?
there,
What?
guys, what's up?" Right? And Dan is will always be PRN family forever and ever, amen. But he left us a time ago, but he comes on when he can, and we're just glad that he's on with us tonight. But you guys share this and keep chatting it up. And got any questions, put them out there, whether it's for us or our special guest tonight. So let's get it going.
Thank you so much, Lisa Kay. I just want to say before I introduce this truly extraordinary woman, this queen, Dan is on because the Giants are 0-2 and he needs a friend. All right. So
Oh, Dan,
I
that
want to
was
take this
mean.
time. I know. I want to take this time to introduce or add to the introduction that and the greeting that Lisa gave. AJ is there's a spirit when you come on the presence, and it's a calming spirit. You have a great sense of humor, but there is a command presence that you not only command order and respect, you give your energy to people in such a way. We watch how you serve people, and it's with that sense of humor, but it's also with that attention to detail. And I think some of that is that military stuff. And but the impact has been immediate. And so we want to introduce AJ Duff. Recovery and Wellness Champions is the summation, but she's more. And we're going to break that down and talk about it. So, AJ, without any further ado, you extraordinary person, introduce you to our community, and then let's sort of explore life through the eyes of AJ. AJ, welcome. How are you tonight?
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, Miss Lisa.
You're welcome.
It is good to see you, and thank you so much. So let's get in. So if you don't mind, let's start with this AJ. Talk about young AJ. Young AJ, tell us a little bit about young AJ. AJ, where were you born? Where were you raised? And tell us just a little bit about young AJ there.
Young AJ was born right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes. And I was actually back and forth between Charlotte, Belmont, and believe it or not, Lumberton.
Oh,
My my mother's family is from Lumberton and around the Robeson County area. So yeah, that's old country AJ.
all right. So, country AJ, what was the nurturing years like? School, was AJ a good student in school? Was AJ, how many siblings? AJ, tell us a little bit about young AJ.
Young AJ has two younger brothers. We're 7 and 11 years apart. I'm the oldest. Um, I was a decent student. I never did cliques even in school. I
Mhm.
hung out with anybody who talked to me,
Oh,
um, and just wanting and feeling like I needed to get a return smile. I love to make people laugh, at least a little turn up on a corner.
mhm.
But yeah, I was the young AJ wanted that nurturing. I was able to get the balance between my mother and my great grandmother and my
Mhm.
grandfather, so that that command presence. You probably see a little bit of that from my grandfather because my grandfather was not a talker, but when he walked in a room, it's all eyes on him, and you had all eyes on him for a reason because when he did open his mouth, it was like, okay, the antennas are up. What can you teach me? My great grandmother, she was just like molasses. She was the sweetest thing God ever made, and I think I got most of my nurturing from her. My mother was not so much. Um, I did deal with abuse from my mother, so um, if it was not for the elders, I have no clue as to where adult AJ would be.
I came from a multi-generational family. I was born into a multi-generational family. So as you're talking, it's blessing me in that aspect. And I share often that so much of the balance that didn't come out till later, but it was in
Mhm.
there, and it was because I attributed to the fact that I had the elders, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
came into a multi-generational family. So AJ, as you move through, connected to family. You said you were a pretty good student. You know, you
Yeah.
did your thing. From your perspective, after school, what was it and how was it? We know there was military service. Tell us what was the bridge that uh, created that thought. I'm gonna go this direction. What led to that direction?
Honestly, a quick getaway from my mother.
Mhm.
I was like, who can get me there? How fast? Where do I sign? Um, Again, I never saw 23 years coming. I never saw a career in the military. I never saw any of that. It was a quick getaway. I'm just going to do it for the time being and I'm out. But January 7th, 1991, I raised my right hand. Um, I had a short stint and I realized that I needed to do some revamping in my family care package.
Mhm.
There was lack of support from her father, so I had to make a decision. I've got to come out and take care of this whole little person. I had her in 94. So things had to change for me very quickly. Had no plan. Um, and at that time, my great grandmother had gotten up in age, and my grandfather deceased in 90. So I think he would have been that guy. Yeah, stick that thing out. We got you. You know, you just keep pushing forward. But I didn't have that. My great grandmother didn't know anything about the military. So that conversation was, very minimal.
Mhm.
But yeah, I had to get out and take care of her. I had to figure out another plan. Um, Worked. Like I said, I had my daughter in 91, 94, January 24th, 1994. And again, I had to get a quick plan together. So I worked. I was out for 5 years. It was kind of like unfinished business.
Mhm.
And, you ping pong with the idea, well, if I get back in, you know, where will it take me? But what I have to do, who will my daughter be with? Is it a safe bet for me to leave her behind? Who will I leave? Who will I leave on the team? Who will I add to the team in order to help, take care of her? So there's a lot to think about, a lot to do. But 2001, August 2001, right before September 11th, raised my right hand again, said I'll do it again. I'll finish this thing off, however many more years. And the trauma really started. The other
Mhm.
trauma. Yeah. First deployment was in 2003 to
Where was
2004.
the deployment to, AJ?
Iraq.
Okay.
Iraq. Iraq was the first and second one. Kuwait was third. Well, the second deployment was kind of split
Mhm.
because once we hit ground in a particular area, we'll try to figure out exactly who needs support in other areas. It could be Afghanistan. It could be anywhere. So the third deployment happened, and then the fourth happened, most recent in 17, 18. So it's been a lot going on.
I see. I see. AJ, the trauma of those fronts, those battlefronts,
Mhm.
those deployments. How did you begin to build out? What was healing like for you coming out of all the things you experienced in those deployments? What was the healing process like for you with those traumas? And what is the healing process like for you?
What it is most recent because even considering when my first deployment was, I had no clue as to how to heal. We don't talk about healing in the military. We talk about surviving. That's it. So you go numb to a lot of things because exactly how do you manage your job and soldiers and where to go and how to be from one mission to the next. You survive, you push through it, you leave your stuff at the house because they need you to perform. That's it. So I don't think I really started healing until maybe 2014,
Mhm.
not long ago. Yeah.
What was included in that, as much as you choose to discuss, what was included in that healing process for you, and hopefully it's some vets out there. I work with a lot of vets, and this is part of that conversation.
Hmm.
What was that healing process, and what is that healing process like for you?
Part of my healing process was being completely rid of the toxic relationships. And when I say all of them, I mean all of them, from the bloodline down or out, however you want to see that.
Mhm.
Um, I had to be good with me. I had to be the mission. It was no longer the organization. I had to be the mission. I knew eventually I was going to, retire. So, what was retirement going to look like?
Mhm.
How was I going to be leading up to retirement? Was I okay with letting my job go? Did I feel like I owed the organization or did I feel like I owed myself? So I decided on me. I pulled a me,
Yeah.
and I'm all right with that. So the toxic relationships, um, as a matter of fact, during this last deployment, um, I stumbled, and I mean that, on NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness,
Mhm.
and I started with their Charlotte branch, and then I ended up with the Lake Norman Iredell County, and I ended up becoming a board member because I needed something else. Um, it was okay being connected to the VA, but yeah, we know
Yeah, we
the
know.
battles that the VA faces, and they're trying to do a lot of revamping. I actually take full advantage of the Wellness 360 or the 360 Wellness
Mhm.
program. Um, but you can't do it all. You actually have to be proactive about what you want your wellness to be. And that's asking the questions. It's sometimes sounding kind of silly in order for you to get it out because you never know exactly who you're talking to regarding what you need. And
Mhm.
you might be just sitting across from somebody said, you know what? I felt like that too. Okay, what did you do? Okay, this is what I did to give me an idea.
Mhm.
So I didn't mind having the silly conversations. I have more conversations about wellness and boundaries and all these different things with friends that have stuck around because everybody's not supposed to stick around.
Yeah.
Seasons, reasons, lifetime. So I found myself having more conversation. When I met my second husband, I take that back. First husband, second marriage.
Mhm.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I told him about the things that I had faced. And he was like, okay, I think I got anxiety too. And we had a
Mhm.
conversation. And he stuck around. He stuck around. And he also holds me accountable because if I have just the slightest idea of revamping something regarding my wellness plan, he said, okay, when are you going to start that?
Mhm.
Okay, you told me last week this is what you were going to do. Okay, what are you doing? So he loves me enough to stare me in the face and tell me the truth. If I'm falling off, all right, AJ, come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he puts me in that safe space.
Those supports,
Hmm.
right? And that accountability from the supports, because the supports are the ones we listen to, but the ones we pay attention to are those that keep us accountable. And
Exactly.
and absolutely on that. So before I turn it over to Lisa K in community, um, so anything transferable from the military that was good from the experience? 23 years is a long time.
Yes, it is.
Um, besides making your bed the right way, any anything transferable that you bring into today's life?
That being goal oriented. And again, I had to kind of shift what the mission was. It's no longer attached to that organization, it's attached to me.
Yeah,
So, and then being hell bent. Can I curse?
as
Oh
much as
yeah.
you choose to.
Okay. Just being hell bent and kind of putting the stop sign on a lot of the bullshit that when we don't have healthy boundaries in place that we accept. We accept that because we would prefer in our illness or illnesses or unwellness, we prefer to be attached to something and somebody, bullshit and all.
Mm-hmm.
And I just decided, no, I'm not doing that. Why? Because I don't have to. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm the boss of me.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Oh, AJ, it is such a pleasure to have you on. It really actually is, and I thank you so much for this. We'll come back
Okay.
with some conversation. We're gonna let Lisa Kate dig in. This is when we get deep, AJ. And Lisa, so give us community, and let's see what you're hearing, Lisa.
Okay, well, we have some other folks that are chimed in with us. I guess Miss Sylvia Kirkland is saying hey to AJ. I saw AJ
Hello.
wave at her. Um, Erica says, thank you for your service. Truly
Thank
grateful
you.
to you, AJ.
Thank you.
Um, and I guess this might be Amanda from Promise Resource. I'm not sure, but I think it probably is. Saying AJ, thank you. Miss Kim Porter just saying that you are amazing, and she's so glad you're part of the PRN family and
Thank
welcome.
you.
Yeah, and we have Miss Holly on with us. Miss Holly is our Philly um, honorary PRN family member. Her and Aaron go way back. No, um, but Miss Bonnie's on saying good evening, Miss Bonnie. Miss Holly, glad to see you tonight as well. Saying good evening to all of us. So if you got any questions for any of us, especially AJ, please feel free to put it out there or your encouraging words. We do appreciate it. And please remember to share this. There's other vets out there that need to see and hear the hope and see that there's a sister that has experienced a lot of the same things and that she is in working her wellness. And if she can, they can, right?
Mhm.
So keep sharing
Absolutely.
it. Keep sharing it. I just want to dig in. I'm not going too deep. I
I don't mind.
I know. All I could hear throughout your whole story from the start to finish, all I kept coming through my mind was battlegrounds, battlegrounds. And I've never been in the military. My dad is a Marine, not an ex.
Mm.
There ain't no such thing,
There was no
right?
such beast.
Lord, no. But through his eyes, I heard a lot,
Yeah.
through my mom's eyes, those kind of things. But I was little. Um, So I haven't had that firsthand experience, but all I could hear throughout your story was battleground, battleground, battleground. So you made this statement that when you came out, part of your wellness started was getting rid of toxic relationships. Blood, not no blood, whatever, you got to go. Um, so for you, you described or just made a comment and about growing up with your mom, and that was not a healthy relationship. It was not. It was toxic. It was abusive to whatever extent. And the military was like, yeah, yeah, get me on that bus today, right? There's got to be something better than this. I commend you. If you were going to run to anything, I commend your resiliency. It speaks loud and clear, even within that toxic relationship and what you were experiencing as a kiddo, right? Your brain wasn't even fully developed when you made that decision, right? But your resiliency rose up. And instead of going to some other things you could have gone to, that seemed like the safest bet because you were trying to come up with a plan, even at that young age. You were planning the whole time. I can imagine as a little girl on this battlefield, and now you went to another battlefield. Then, when you came from that battlefield, you came back to another one, the same one, and then you started cleaning up that stuff, you know, because it no longer served purpose in your life to be a battleground, being back home. So, for you, thinking about that, the battleground at home, the battleground that's all the deployments that you went through, which was the most difficult to maneuver around and make decisions around and get your wellness started? When you think back on it, which one of those battlegrounds, I think you had more than two even, what was the most difficult part of any of that for you to stop it from being a battleground? Which was the worst, and how did you clean it up? And where did that resiliency come from?
That was loaded.
Yeah, and I can go back. But yeah,
Yeah,
my brain is just like, wow.
yeah,
I
that
see
was
you in a
loaded.
whole different light right now.
Yeah.
I had no idea about your story. Just the military alone just blew
Yeah.
me away. Yeah.
Yeah. And how could I dare leave out the fact that I was a ballerina for 9.5 years? That was the most freeing, just collection of years in my entire life as a child.
So that
Um,
was before you went
yeah, yeah.
okay.
I didn't see military at all when I was small.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I reached my junior year in high school, I said, "Oh yeah, I got to get up out of here." But I think my first deployment, and I say my first deployment because my little person,
Mm,
she did not have a clue as to what the heck was going on,
mm,
and she embodies the parts of me that I wanted to take care of by any means necessary. So your most prized possession, what do you do with her?
mm.
And I could not leave not one thing to chance. Um, so yeah, just knowing that, okay, you do realize you have 7 days to get it together. So you're gonna have to make a decision. Start packing. I had to pack down my apartment for storage. I packed down my daughter to go with my mother, and then I packed to get on that bus so we can catch a flight. So it was a lot of quick thinking, quick moving. And I think that in itself was traumatic.
Mm.
I know it was traumatic for her because that was the longest time we had ever been apart.
Wow.
And then knowing that, oh, honey, I'm not just a state over, I'm in a whole nother country. So, and just not knowing exactly what's on her heart, what's on her mind. She asked me, I think 3 weeks in to the deployment, Mommy, are you injured? She was watching the news.
Mm.
From the mouths of babes,
Yeah.
what adults can potentially harmful or healthy can do to a child. And I just pray that she wouldn't resent me because of the
Mm.
military. Because again, I did make that decision to come back in. I was out free and clear, but it was a thing within me that I could not shortcut myself. And I had to pack her up and move her with me. So
Wow.
if I moved left, she was on this right hip. I moved right, she was on this left hip. So it was a lot. Again, I just needed for our relationship to be different
Yeah.
than my mother and mine. So
Absolutely.
that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would imagine that your conflict resolution style is a little different from most. I can't imagine having to tear down my residence quickly, in the meantime, making all these decisions around my child. As you say, your little person, I love that. I bet they're a little mini me too. I can't imagine what that was like. But the thought that you wanted things to be different, your relationship with your little person to be different, so different, so she would not have to go run into another battleground.
Right.
So I commend you on that. So she came with you,
No, that first
not,
deployment,
not
no,
the
that was conflict.
okay,
That was a wartime contingency.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Couldn't do that.
when did you reconnect with her where you could bring her with you? How long were you away from her?
2004.
Mm,
So a
wow.
whole year away from my little person.
Oh wow. 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 So as you have gone through stepping out of that battleground into back into it, cleaning all that up. Those of us who picture battlefields, that's all I can picture is
Mhm.
AJ stomping in there and saying, "You got to go, and you got to go, and no, don't call me no more, and you're done." And this is what my life's going to be like for me and my little person. Um, when you got back and were able to clean some of that up and start your healing, were there moments between you and your little person that was really hard? Did you find that you were alone, or were you able to create a new family?
I felt alone for years, even after the first deployment. Because again, you're talking about 4 whole deployments. Um, because in the military, you don't know what to say.
Mm,
You don't know how to ask for mental health help.
right.
That stuff does not come up in your AM rallies. Those conversations don't come up because for such a long time we fear that our careers were at risk.
Right.
They're gonna put me out as soon as I tell them this. But in those emotional nights,
Mm,
um, I was at one that was in the fetal position. God
mm,
help me, wailing.
mm,
As soon as I would put her down to bed, wailing. How in the hell am I going to do this? I'm
right.
about to freaking explode. I feel
Mm,
like I'm going to lose my mind.
wow. Wow.
Because again, you don't know who to trust with that information.
Mm-mm.
Because, when you talk about wearing a uniform, oh, you're crazy. Yeah, you know how the military folk are. All about crazy. And I was even told by one of my siblings that I had to have been crazy to go over there.
Oh, wow. Mm.
Ooh. Ooh.
Whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So, how have you built yourself back up from that in the fetal position? How the hell am I going to do this with my little person all alone? Who do I trust? How do I get the help I need? What got you started? What got you back up on your feet, being the resilient? I think you've always been resilient. You had those pockets of moments where you were overwhelmed
Mhm.
and fighting who you could trust. But when your resilience came up like a blaze and said, no more, how did that get started for you? Because I know there's people watching now or people that will watch later that can very much relate to that fetal position, feeling all alone, no matter if it was because of being deployed or because their family turned their backs on them when they needed them the most, or they had to cut away those toxic relationships that left them standing all by themselves. How did that get started for you? And what was it like?
I think the idea of it, because again, it didn't come until years later. Um, I was hitting my 40s. Did I
Oh,
age myself? I oops. I
you're,
oopsed.
you're still the baby on this screen, so don't worry about it.
um, but when my daughter was younger, she would pick up on certain facial expressions. You know, babies are naturally empathetic.
Mm,
You can't get no more pure than a baby.
nope.
Um, and she would pick up on certain facial expressions. Mama, are you upset? Mama, have you been crying? And every move you make, they see it.
Mm,
They hear certain tones in your voice. They watch your facial expressions. They watch how you have, or they listen and pay very close attention to the conversations that you have with other people.
mm,
Um, what you talk about, how you speak. And I had to be mindful. I had to be mindful because, again, she embodies everything, the pieces and parts of me that I have to take care of.
mm.
Um, and she forced me to understand why I had to take care of me, regardless of what that looked like. So she made a comment not too long ago, and I'm gonna try very hard not to get emotional. She said, "Mama, I've really been thinking." Now she's 27 now. She said, "Mama, I've been really thinking about you. You've been on my heart today." I said, "Okay, what I do?" She says, I've been thinking, considering how you met my father, I feel like I am what you didn't want, but I feel like I'm also what you needed."
Mm. Wow. Wow.
Mind blown.
Yep.
And here I am driving.
Wow.
trying not to have an accident because I can't see. eyes, are, eyes are getting full of tears. I'm like, why would you say that? She said, I just feel like I'm what you needed to realize what you needed for yourself.
Wow.
And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, because it's not like you were planned. I had no clues to how the heck I was going to raise you. Um, I didn't even, I wasn't even confident in my ability to be somebody's mama. um, and with the rediscovering of myself through, the abuse from mom and the displacement, and, you know, yes, I can honestly say I'm a woman that had to get over daddy issues.
Mm.
So, because he was not a constant in my life, so I had to let that go. But you go through this phase where you're asking the question, okay, well, what was it about me?
Mm.
What was it about me? Okay, why did he leave me? Not thinking it's grown people stuff that happened. Why
Right.
would he leave me? Why would he do this to me? So, again, it wasn't until coming into my 40s where I said, okay, if this whole person is watching every move that I make, would I want somebody to come in and mistreat my daughter?
Mm.
Or would I want them to handle her with care? Um, what it needed to look like, I still didn't really know, but I just knew that I was attached to too much or too many people that will not allow me to grow.
Mm.
You can't keep holding me to stuff when I was 10 years old. I'm 40 now. It's okay to let that go. I think it's time.
Yeah.
Um, and I've had roundabout conversations with my mother, regarding why and how and what led up to that mistreatment, because every day, all day, I was treated always so different from my brothers. And I expected the answers that I got didn't make sense. So I came to the conclusion because my mother lost her mother when she was 9 years old.
Mm.
And I said, okay, she wasn't equipped to give me what I needed. Her mom wasn't there to give her what she needed. And certain things, certain teachings are passed down from generation to generation. So the very person that she needed, she didn't have.
Mm.
So what I needed in my mother, she didn't have. But I was going to figure my shit out for my daughter because I could not afford for her to look back at me saying, okay, I doubt you really love me like that. I don't even think you really like me. I couldn't afford that.
Right.
So I made deliberate decisions to, tell her I love her.
Mm.
She's 27. She knows that I will get right here, stick my nose right here, and get to sniffing. I still love her scent.
Yeah.
I still hold on to her and kiss her. I stroke her hair when she, lays her head in my lap. It's a necessity.
Mm.
If we can take care of hair, if we can take care of, feet, body, why can't you take care of your relationship? I had to take care of that relationship with her. She is what I needed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Such
Yeah.
an intimate moment between you and your daughter. I just came around and boom. We needed to hear that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us sitting here right now with mama issues, daddy issues, relationship issues with our
Mhm.
children, um, whether they live with us or afar. Um, really needed to hear that. It really provokes thoughts. And that's what seeing through your eyes is doing for us tonight, because it is a mirror back,
Mhm.
for us to search. Because so much of your story, whether we were in the military or not, we can relate somewhat to. And so I see that kind of going on in the chat. So um, your story is inspirational. And I thank you so much for sharing that,
You're
especially that
welcome.
moment with your daughter. And I get it. I'm the same way, and a lot of us that are watching are the same way. I know Aaron's the same way about his two queens, his daughters.
Yep, yep.
Um, yeah, that those are his babies, and they're grown too, and he calls them his babies. I do the same thing with my boys. Of course, they're one of them is like the Hulk, so he's like, "Mom, stop." But I do it mostly to aggravate him. So if you're watching, I hate it for you because I'm going to continue it today. So, 'cause he watches sometimes and gets a good kick out of it. But we love those smells and those touches and those moments. And that just resonated with me because I made a lot of decisions around my life based on my children, and or most of my decisions based on my children. And no person in the universe is going to come between me and my children. And I had to make some decisions as well. So we can definitely relate to you, and we appreciate that. So I thank you. Um, Let me just see some chats, and then I'm going to let Mr. Aaron take it back and do his thing. AJ, you just blow me away. I'm just speechless. Uh, I don't know that I've been this speechless on one of these, to be honest with you. Eric Metz, I think you may know. Um, he is making some comments. I'll make sure I capture all of those. Yeah. So there's a lot of comments going on. Eric says the hardest thing is to sit in silence. That really resonated. So that really resonated with him. And, so being able to hear your decision making and how you got out of that was very important for all of us. Um, Alan says, AJ, thank you for your service. My housemate is a Vietnam veteran. He,
Very good.
yep, he sure is.
Very good. Hats off.
Yeah.
Look,
Miss
and I salute. So pass
Yep,
that on. Yeah.
absolutely. Miss Holly says, amen to that, Miss Lisa. I'm not sure what I said at that time, but yeah. Uh, blood and I'll break those chains of toxicity. Yep, yep, absolutely. And Miss Karen DeSoto is sending you lots of hearts and loves. Sending love to my family. Sorry she was late. She's always apologizing. Karen, we're just glad you're on, babe. We understand. You got bunches of kids in your house.
That's right.
Eric says, I feel like you have a lot of spiritual ancestors that walk with you, AJ.
Mm,
Just seeing this short piece, you are freaking amazing.
Yep, yep.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you definitely busted up that generational abuse and curse that have gone down, and so wonderful of you to be able to recognize in the women in your life the abuse and neglect that they went through themselves and what they were not able to give, but you broke that chain. You really did. So your daughter doesn't carry that, and she is free,
Right. Right.
absolutely free.
Right.
Wow, awesome. Um, oh gosh, Karen, you're so silly about my hair. Anyway, Holly says, much love, AJ. You're an
Thank
inspiration.
you.
Karen says, I met AJ at the respite opening that I'm sure we're fixing to talk about in a minute. She is a shining light. She left an impression on me, and now I know why her story is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And let's see, we got a few more. Then we're going to give it back to Mr. Aaron. Daniel McCrae says, have to rewatch. So he's just chiming on. Oh, I skipped some. Da, da, da. Just tuned in. Sounds like I missed some good shit. Yeah, you did, Daniel. So rewind the tape, dude. Michelle says, so powerful to do things differently when it was your turn to be a mama.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Karen's going to chimed in and said, I know I should never be sorry. Hard habit to break. I know it is. I know it is. But thank you for all who are sending your love and comments and gratefulness to AJ and her service, but also to open up and be so vulnerable to share her story. And that's what happened. This is the cost of loving, right? Is when
Right.
we love each other and we are people
Right.
who have experiences, we start sharing our hearts. We are vulnerable, but it is the cost of loving because we know when we open up our hearts, people can see that hope and
Mhm.
understand where we're coming from and go, oh my gosh, So what we want folks to do is say, you know what? If she got off that bathroom floor, I can too.
Absolutely.
Right? So Aaron, take it away. Thank you, AJ.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank you.
you, Lisa, and thank you, community. Keep chiming in. We're here for a few more, and just keep plugging in. And thank you, everybody, for coming on. AJ, before we chop it up, I just want to share with you when you mentioned that you were going to do something different with your little one, your little person. That was my motivation with my daughters, who I love to the ends of the world. I mean, they are the center of my existence, and um, it was because I wanted to be different than my dad, who I love. I love my dad. That's a whole other story. He was my first superhero, but he just, he wasn't available, and
Mm.
I wanted to make sure that I've always been available to my daughters. Right? I just wanted to do something different. So, AJ,
Yes,
multi-generation, you receive so much, right?
I have.
Then you decided to do some self-investing, right,
Hmm.
in your wellness and your recovery. So how did that lead to where you are serving people? Because AJ, you're a servant, and you do it with such, you, we talk about your humor. You have a great sense of humor, but now you have a great smile. You have a great sense of humor, but you're serious about the damn thing. And so,
Yes.
people mean a lot to you. So how did we now take the best of what you received, what was invested in you, your journey, and now other people are receiving the fruits of that? How did you get into that rhythm of serving others?
I know what it feels like to not be poured into. You feel like nobody gives a damn.
Hmm.
You could care whether or not I live or die. And that's just not how I can continue to be of service. I just told my husband not too long ago, I said, you brought a lot of love out of me. You made it feel safe for me to love on this level. And I had to, appreciate him for that. Because for a while I didn't think I could get here on this level.
Hmm.
Um, and then during this time in my life, I retired, and here I am still trying to figure out who AJ wants to be when she grows up.
Hmm.
And I can honestly say, when you see the smile, it's coming from like deep down. It's not a put on for y'all. I don't have to put on for y'all. Um, because I feel good to show that I feel good. Um, it's what that feeling does to a person when you make it a point, make a deliberate decision to sow something into another person, to pour in. You know what? I see you. Even going up to the drive through at Mickey D's.
That's the key.
If I see, and my daughter taught me that at 2 years old, she would always, hey, how you doing? Hey, it's, be waving. It's a wonder she still has wrists. And I said, you know what? The universe gives you that good and bad feeling. You know what feels bad? You know what feels good. When you show that feel good, you might feel like straight garbage that day. But that exchange, that's what you get back. Everybody's not going to be ready to receive that, and that's fine.
Hmm.
But the 12, 15 people that did receive it, good morning, sis.
Hmm.
Good morning, AJ. How are you? Oh, I'm well. You recognize me for a whole 2 seconds.
That's right.
2 seconds can either make or break somebody's spirit that day. I don't know. I don't have to get into the weeds of, what happened on your way to work and what happened the night before and who broke up with who. I don't have to know that.
That's right.
But I do see you.
Hmm.
Because on the flip side, I remember what it felt like to not be seen. And if you're doing that work, why would you impose that pain on the next person? So, yeah, a lot of movement that you make in this world, it has to be like beyond intentional.
Hmm.
I also told my daughter not too long ago, I said, you know what? When I leave this earth, I'll let my work speak for me. When I leave from here, the impressions that I've made, the conversations that I've had, just that exchange, You know, I love the way she smiled. You know what? But she was smiling at you. She was, and she meant it. I mean it.
Yeah.
I work hard to be the best AJ I could be. I work hard. And I'm just getting to that place where, you know what? I'm all right with the work.
Mhm.
I'm all right with the work. If I can clock in and clock out at somebody's job, why can't I pull overtime for me?
Yeah.
This is a 25/8 job. There are no days off. There's no vacation.
Yeah.
But if you put in real good work, ah, mm,
It's
priceless.
nothing like it, is it? Nothing
Nothing
like it.
like it.
Nothing like
Nothing like it. That inner peace. Y'all didn't know me. You knew my personality.
it. Mm-hmm.
And I think y'all have been in the business long enough to read through bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I don't even know why she coming in here with that fake. Y'all would have been able to pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, genuinely, I like to see more of that, which is why I try to purposely make that exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gonna catch on. Somebody's gonna smile and say good morning to me. Because I'm gonna get on your nerves until you do.
AJ, for
Yes.
you, wellness, healing, recovery. As you define wellness, what is AJ's personal definition for wellness?
AJ's personal definition. That peace, sometimes that stillness. We get so caught up in chaos, we don't know how to be still, but to be still and just sometimes let a little teardrop. Gosh, I made it through the day. I'm still here fighting, but I'm not fighting for outside stuff. I'm fighting for me. And dang, it feels good to be able to kick my heels up, cross my ankles a little bit, and just breathe. And yes, it takes, you know, having to cut off those toxic relationships, but at the end of the day, do you have that peace? I would rather have one person or nobody call my phone with chaos than have 10, 15 people and they always have something going on. And I never have a moment. You can't take in the universe. And if you are religious, you can't hear God if you got everybody else in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hear him. You can't even be within your own thoughts if you've got entirely too many people and too much stuff going on. And again, I'm fasting from the clicks and the unnecessaries. I'm fasting, I'm good, I'm full.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right to be in a state of peace and quiet and just sometimes just looking up and just smiling because there's another day you made it through. Yeah.
Sometimes the best menus have the least on it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, AJ, before I turn it over to Lisa to get back and check into community, um, I have three things I want to ask you. You ready?
Yes.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food. I just ate it today. I love Brussels sprouts.
Come on, stop. You sound like my niece Natasha. That's all right. I like them, but she loves them. You love them? You love Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
like
Don't
Brussels
be so
sprouts.
sad about it. It's okay. Okay. Hey, AJ, what's your favorite genre of music?
Oh, Euro soul.
Mm.
Yeah, and I've kind of you know inched over to trap jazz. Y'all look that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. If you like hip hop, you like jazz. Merge the two.
Merge the two.
Beautiful sound. Yeah, but Euro
Mhm.
soul is my favorite.
Your favorite place to be geographically?
I spent my birthday this year. My birthday's in July in Aruba. Never thought I'd see that,
Mm-hmm.
but just that free feel. that I got. That just the peaceful waters, and you can't help but just look outside and just inhale, exhale. Yeah, it's my favorite so far. Yeah, we'll
So
see
this
what
is
next year
this is
brings.
a to be continued, huh?
Yes.
All right. Lisa K, take it away. What's going on with our family? Let's get ready to put the plane in the hangar. It's fall, so the yacht is not being docked. We're putting the plane in the hangar now.
Miss
What's happening with the family,
Kirkland.
Lisa?
Hello, Mama Sylvia.
Well, we got a lot of loving going on for Miss AJ, and a lot of folks coming on saying hey. Adrian's on saying hey, y'all. Miss Karen feels like your level is admirable. Your level of AJ, your level where I just see you're on a different level, and it is admirable and inspirational. Um, just comments about the innocence of loving vulnerability. You know, that it just shines, and it does. It shines all over you. Oh, we got the baby. We got the baby. Yeah, my Hope won't see, and I won't let her in, so she's out there taking her little paws and scratching, but nobody wants to hear Hope right now. Um, let's see. We got Miss Erica, my new best friend, saying amen. And we have Karen saying, telling you to please write a book. Your, your inspirational testimony can move mountains. Thank you truly for your service. Miss Sylvia saying, love you, AJ.
I worked with her at the top of
Oh,
COVID. I miss her.
oh, well, she is on loving on you tonight. Well, we're glad that you're with us now. So, Miss Sylvia, you need to come visit us
Yes.
because we're not giving her back. Ms. Holly said, that is legacy intertwined. Beautiful work, AJ.
Thank you.
Karen says, amen. I'm catching on now. Absolutely. Yes, you can't listen to God with everyone in your ear. Love it, Karen says. So, Aaron, AJ, thanks for sharing that. Erica, my new best friend, says, love that. Sometimes the best menus have the least on it. When
Mhm.
Aaron said that, I could just picture some old places that I've gone to as a child, and there was just, only half was food and the other half was Pepsi products or whatever. And it wasn't front and back, and it wasn't like pages, and that it was the best food ever.
Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. You get the French fries in the cones.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah. Anyway, I'm hungry, but thank you guys for commenting and loving on AJ tonight, and it's just a testimony of what your story has blessed us with tonight, and we appreciate it. And I feel like your story will be told over and over. People will be talking about your story and the inspiration you were tonight, and we appreciate it. And your puppy dog
Thank
was
you.
good.
She was the only one who survived out of the litter.
Oh dear,
Oh
so
wow,
Hmm.
that's
Parvo took them all out of here except for her.
meant
oh
to be.
wow,
Hmm.
survivor just like her mama. Yep,
Hmm.
absolutely. And thank
Lisa,
you, AJ.
you're doing so well, Lisa. Here, let's keep you busy.
Okay, I love this. So the warm line, guys. They should put me on television for this one. And everybody's still saying, "Oh, Miss Holly, I have to give this out to Miss Holly."
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm drunk with this joy here. I love that. Drunk with this joy.
Mm.
Yeah.
I am going now. She's got to leave us. We
Okay.
went over. Erica says survivor for baby. Yep.
Mhm.
And yeah, fur. Everybody loves those fur babies. Everybody. Um, yeah, I had to shout them out. But
That's
yeah, we
okay.
have the warm line, 24/7 confidential. It's an extension of PRN, our love, and we are there to be a warm ear that's connected to a warm heart, to listen and then to share some of our lived experience to inspire hope. But basically, we're there to listen and give you an outlet and someone to get resources from, or just to help kind of navigate what you're going through. So give us a call. The number's on the screen, 833-390-7728. And give us a call. Peer support specialist there all day, all night, ready to listen and share with you as well.
Lisa Kaye, you know you're not finished. Here we go.
Kim Porter, how to make her do this. She could speak. Uh, Make her type it out. Our welcome desk. We are open live in person from 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. And Kim Porter answers the phone, and she's also there mostly now with us. So give us a call if you have any questions about our classes, peer support, employment help, resources, whatever that may be. You want AJ's autograph, whatever that is. Um, Please give us a call at that number, and Miss Kim will get you connected to the uh, department, the person, whatever it is. She'll make sure you get connected for sure.
All right. AJ,
Yes.
you have blessed us. You have blessed us from head to toe. You've
Mm,
blessed our socks off. There's a lot of sockless people right now. You have
I
blessed our
literally,
appreciate you.
socks off.
I
And
not
thank
my
you
appreciate
flip
you.
so
flops
very
off.
much.
I
Listen,
appreciate it.
you bring so many magnificent things. Resilience is only one, but it starts there. But you open up a portal for others to desire healing and wellness and to connect to you, to be able to hold on to your lived experience until they realize the wealth of their own. Thank you so much for
Yes.
coming on. Any last words from you, AJ, to the community?
Peace and blessings to you. Find you, whatever it takes to find you. When you find her or him, hold on tight. Hold on tight.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Hmm.
AJ. Lisa K, partner, what's up with you? Give us some last words, buddy.
Well, gosh, well, number one, I'm gonna be real. I'm hungry and I'm tired. But I tell you what, now I'm not gonna be able to sleep. I'm still tired. I just can't go to sleep because you've inspired me, AJ. I can't wait to have an opportunity to sit with you and us share as sisters at PRN. I'm just gonna grab you and make you sit with me somewhere.
Do
Um,
it.
and anybody else that wants to join us just to sit and just really connect with you, you are an inspiration. And now, because of you, I probably won't be able to go to sleep till about midnight because you got my brain going really strong about the gifts and talents that I've seen in front of me tonight and the inspiration. And Aaron and I are always looking and for things and people and to bring to the hub and bring out. And you just have my mind going all different directions. So thanks a lot. But
You're
anyway, I
welcome.
love you. And but I do appreciate you and appreciate everybody who chimed in and said the inspirations and their loves and the hugs and kisses. We just ask that if you were inspired tonight, pass it on, share it on your social medias, YouTube, Facebook. So if it inspires you, it can inspire others. That's what we do is we just keep passing this stuff along and it gets to the people who need to hear it. So I appreciate you, AJ. Appreciate
You're
you, Aaron.
welcome.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Much love to both of you. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us for this period of time. Our time is up. Plane is in the hangar. This is Through the Eyes of Others with Aaron and Lisa Kate and AJ. Conversations with extraordinary people. This person, very extraordinary, about the lives of resilience, wellness, and healing. We love you. Make sure you share on the social media platform. Go to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Trying to get 10,000 viewers so we can then go to 20,000. We love you. Have an absolutely magnificently great rest of the week, and we will see you next week, 6:30. Bye bye, everybody.
Thank you.